one of the best backdrops in the USL. Welcome into One Oak Field, downtown Tulsa. My name is Dave Saunders, alongside me the former Roughneck player Brady Ballou. Welcome in, everybody, for this matchup between the Tulsa Roughnecks, currently bottom of the league, with just 2 wins this season, against the team that's chasing a playoff spot, and that is one San Antonio FC. The Roughnecks, back from that West Coast trip. Here they are again at One Oak. And Brady Ballou, good evening to you, sir. You would say it's an important game for both teams, but perhaps with the result that we've just been looking for, St. Louis beating Swope 4-3 tonight, it's a massive game now for San Antonio, isn't it?
San Antonio feel tonight like they really have something to achieve here. And I think we saw in the news all throughout the week, Darren Powell saying we had a vision, we know what we're expecting in Tulsa, and we really need these 3 points. And unfortunately for the Roughnecks, the Pacific Northwest has often been kind to this team, and the Roughnecks have had some good results there in the past, but ultimately this time didn't get the right shake of it.
The Roughnecks as well, a bit of a bogey team is San Antonio. They'd never beaten San Antonio in USL play. They did have one exciting penalty shootout victory in the Open Cup, but a good point down at San Antonio for the Roughnecks this season, but they are a hard nut to crack, aren't they?
San Antonio is one of those teams that no matter if you're hosting them or you're at their place, it's a tough team to break down. It's a tough team to stop goals from coming in. They have so many talented players that are lethal inside that 18. So we should see not only fireworks after the game, but during the game tonight.
We are a few minutes away from kickoff here, and as we say, it's San Antonio in town, and they've got an Englishman as their manager, Darren Powell, who's been there several years now, and we were talking about him off air. He's a very good coach. It's a very well-run club, isn't it?
I mean, this has to be one of the blueprints for USL, and not only their stadium, but how they operate, everything from social media. It's of the utmost class. So great shout-outs for San Antonio as a club moving forward in the United States.
We will welcome the teams here onto the turf here in downtown Tulsa. There they are. There's the Tulsa Roughnecks being led out by Munez. He's been somewhat of a stalwart at the back. There's Fabian Serda, who's 98 saves. He is the leading save maker in the whole of the USL. Just 2 wins for the Roughnecks, but they've come with the manager, Brady Ballou, Mike Ensign, who's done a pretty good job taking over mid-season.
Yeah, always difficult for a coach to come in mid-season and, not necessarily have the means or the situation to change and make it his team. So he's kind of absolving a team and trying to change the way they think and the way they approach the game and into his thoughtfulness of playing. And so he's righted the ship quite a bit, and I think the players are encouraged and have enjoyed these last few months despite the results. I think the messages I'm getting is that, they're learning a lot. It's receptive, and it's an exciting time to be a Roughneck.
Exciting time to be a Roughneck. There is that beautiful backdrop. There are the teams and the officials. We are just a few minutes away, as I said, from kickoff. The captain there for San Antonio, great left back he is, and a great leader, Greg Cochran, wearing the number 20 shirt, alongside the unmistakable figure of Matt Cardoni, who's done so well in goal. And San Antonio all in white tonight against the Roughnecks, who are in that orange and black strip. Roughnecks just looking for just their 3rd win of the season. Here's the national anthem, and we will have team news when we come back after the break.
For things, and the vehicle's a big part of that.
I want to keep, stacking up the memories and the miles and the years and all the stories you can tell with Athena.
When it's time for your old Chevy truck to become their new Chevy truck, there's Truck Month. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado. Plus, during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
What defines you? Your pain, your illness, your injury. At Hillcrest, we see it a little differently. Your hope defines you. Your strength, your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. Because we believe every life is worth fighting for.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice, cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/Power Hours.
When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Welcome back in to downtown Tulsa. There they are, the two captains, Munoz and Cochran, just shaking hands. The formalities are over and we're ready for this matchup. Welcome in to those of you watching on ESPN Plus and those of you watching locally on Cox Your View 1333. Dave Saunders and Brady Ballou with you for this one. There are the Roughnecks, Fabian Soder, they're all in black. And Brady Ballou, as we get set for this one. Brady Ballou, as you get set for this one, if you're a Roughnecks player, everybody knows where you are in the league. What's in it for them? What will they be thinking ahead of this match tonight?
Definitely. You've got 7 games or so left in the season. You've been eliminated from any playoff contention. So at this point, you're fighting for a contract, a job next year to support you, to support your family. And so you're trying to put your best foot forward in every training and every single game that you can to put together highlight tapes, to put together just some series of play where a coach can be like, I want to keep this guy around. So while things aren't looking exceptionally bright individually, I think guys should take this opportunity and really step up.
And there have been some bright spots, haven't there? I mean, Jesus Ferreira gets the first hat-trick in franchise history. Unfortunately, it felt like a defeat for the Roughnecks as they were 4-1 up, 4-4. But he's been a bright spark, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I think guys like Jesus Ferreira, the young guy that he is, absolutely exploded through the FC Dallas Academy. This has been the perfect situation for him. He's come into a team that's looked for somebody to provide another spark, and so he stepped up to the challenge of the young guy, and maybe he's not playing like a young guy anymore. He certainly stepped into the fold here in Tulsa.
Yeah, got to remember, he's only 17 years old. If you're a San Antonio fan watching in here, welcome to you. Nothing less than 3 points.
It's a must-win situation for San Antonio, who's in the thick of it in this playoff hunt. San Antonio, as we all know, a very respectable club here in the USL, and this is a place where they found success. And like we've always said, San Antonio, tough nut to crack, and Elizondo will look to be part of it tonight.
Yeah, Elizondo and Omar Gordon, you just caught there the 2 changes, actually. They come in and Mike Seth and Connor Presley drop to the bench, and they've got quality all around the pitch. I mean, one of my favourite players, central defender, Cyprian Hedrick. There's Eti Tavares, who's provided a lot of speed on the wing, but Cyprian Hedrick, just an amazing player to me.
He's a guy that we've seen just down the road at Oklahoma City that provided just a very steady presence for them, and have the utmost respect for what he does on the field and off the field. A great community and family guy. So Cyprian Hedrick knows his way around this field, this stadium, and will appreciate another opportunity to get 3 points.
Yeah, we're just a few seconds away. It'll be the Roughnecks to get us underway in this one. Everett Guzman, of course, we need to give him a mention, wearing number 99, who will be playing up front, the top goal scorer for San Antonio in their history. The referee tonight is Eric Tattershaw. His assistants, Kevin Locke and Truman Berghall. And the 4th tonight is Curtis Mayo. Slight delay to the start, but we are just about ready now. Settle in, settle back for this one. Thank you for your company here at One Oak Field. Dave Saunders and Brady Ballou with you as the referee gets us underway. And it's Covarrubias driving a ball to this near side to us, the right, headed away by the captain, Cochrane, who will have his work cut out tonight with Eti Tavares, who we said is probably the quickest roughneck player. There's Paris G back from slight illness. He kept him out of the Portland Timbers game. Here's Covarrubias in the midfield, getting some early touches. G now will bring in Captain Muniz, who will spread it to the left-hand side. Morton in field again to Muniz, and Muniz will go out here to Mirkovic. Mirkovic driving the ball over the top. But Brady Ballou, some good early touches for the Roughnecks, which is obviously what you need. Yeah,
Covarrubias will be happy to get a few touches in the middle early on, kind of settle into the game. Like you had mentioned, Eti Tavares will be difficult for Cochrane to handle, but Cochrane celebrating his 97th USL appearance tonight, I believe. A guy with a lot of experience in this league and now captaining the ship for San Antonio, and well-deserved.
So the Roughnecks there with Gamble now driving down the left, just gets control of the ball, feeds it in field here. Covarrubias here into Jesus Ferreira. Ferreira now will go wide to the El Salvadorian. And he was Rivas just losing possession. That's a foul by Mirkovic, and that will be a free kick. And there's Vukovic at left back just pulling up the lad there. So a free kick early on for the away side. San Antonio, as we said, desperate for points tonight, especially with the result you may have heard that we alluded to earlier on. Some game it must have been. Swope Park 3, St. Louis 4. So currently San Antonio sitting in that last playoff spot, 8th place. Cochrane. That ball will just about be kept in. But a good tackle coming in from Muniz. That was Lance Lang. More of him, and throughout the commentary, he's really come in and done extremely well. So up the left-hand side, progress have been made by San Antonio. Lights on here, beautiful night here. Dry night, certainly a comfortable temperature, you would say, for the players. Pekka, the Brazilian, sitting in the 4-2-3-1 tonight. Lang applauds, and you can see already, Brady Ballou, that the Roughnecks will have their work cut out with this very impressive team all in white tonight, San Antonio FC.
San Antonio definitely keen to get Lang into the attack early. It's the second time they've looked down that line for him. And I mean, it's a guy that's already made waves for San Antonio this year. Past 3 home matches for them, he's been elected man of the match. So this is a guy with a lot of spark to him.
Mirkovic just catching Pekka there. Just in the back of the calf, not pleasant, but the referee tonight, Mr. Tadashaw's just going to have a word with Mirkovic. Mirkovic, who this season has had 8 yellow cards already and would certainly not want one in this game at all, but certainly not after barely 3.5 minutes have gone. Referee having a long chat to him here. That's going to be a good matchup in there, Brady.
Mirkovic and the referee?
Here's San Antonio trying to get possession of the football. Now Mirkovic is fouled there. Yeah, the midfield key tonight, of course, in any game of soccer, isn't it? But you know, you've got Pekka and Lopez up against Covarrubias and Mirkovic. Should be a good battle in the centre there.
Should be a good battle, I think, for San Antonio. Lopez, a guy from North Carolina, and then spent a year or 2 with New York City FC. It's a guy that you have to respect his talent in the midfield and what he can do with the ball. And certainly, we know that Pekka is an extremely dominant force in the middle and has been at San Antonio a while, and a guy that should be there for the foreseeable future based on his performances.
Eti Tavares just felt he was fouled, but good defending, I think, from Cochrane, who just bumped him off. Throw in to the aforementioned captain of San Antonio FC, Cochrane, in an unchanged back 4 for San Antonio tonight. Ball flicked on by Lang. Here's the other number 7, Tavares, who will run here at Cochrane. Gets a good ball into the box. Where's it going to fall? Headed away well, and then falls nicely here to Rivas. Rivas tries to play a little 1-2 there, or that was the intention with Vukovic. But away comes Cesar Elizondo, one of the 2 changes to the side. Mike Seth and Connor Presley dropping to the bench tonight. And that ball just into no man's land, and Cardoni indeed will keep it in. They're just a real strength all round the field for San Antonio, starting with the goalkeeper. it's just a really solid lineup, isn't it?
It's hard to pick out a spot where it's a place where we think, or a team could think you could break them down. You know, you look across the board at San Antonio's roster, and they have so much depth. Guys like Connor Presley that has been moved down to the bench. That's a young kid that's, you know, made a splash in the San Antonio side this year and been given a lot of opportunities. So the San Antonio's an exciting club at this time, and look forward to their growth.
There's Cyprian Hedrick clearing the ball away, headed back infield by Vukovic. And that will come off Josh Morton, and that'll be a throw. There's Darren Powell, the coach there in his familiar cap, man boarding in Nottingham in England. Here's Hedrick then, with plenty of field to play with. Back to Cardoni. Cardoni wears 0. Looking for Lang. And here's Muniz. Good step over there. Back to Fabian Soder, all in black tonight. Driving the ball up the right. Will it stay in? No, it's just gone out there. Nil-nil the score. Just under 7 minutes gone here at One Oak Field in Tulsa. Lang goes down. G said I didn't do anything. Referee agrees. Loose ball there, which Rivas would just get a touch on here to Vukovic, and that's good defending from Darnell King. But that's what you want to see if you're a Roughnecks fan, is Vukovic getting forward on the left-hand side, Brady Ballou.
Darnell King will definitely have his hands full, as we've been accustomed to seeing the Roughnecks at home getting those outside backs really high up the field, G and Vukovic. So Vukovic will be keen to get forward to make something happen and contribute a few more assists like he did up in the Pacific Northwest. And Darnell King will gladly accept that challenge, I imagine.
Ball from Paris G is just too close to the white line, goes off for a throw-in. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Here's Rivas. We'll talk more about him with his El Salvador experience in the past week. Here's Vukovic. Rivas, of course, so important to the Roughnecks cause, the top goal scorer. And Brady, you heard a little bit about him. He didn't get on the field against Brazil, did he? They lost 5-0 to Brazil, El Salvador, but a good experience for him.
A situation like this in a season like this for, you know, one of the guys for the Roughnecks that's been, you know, the most productive, it's really good to see a guy like Joaquin Rivas get the shout to be called into the national team, and not only just be called in for the national team, but when they play Brazil. Probably the best team for me in the world at this point. A roster that's completely stacked from Fred to Neymar to William, Douglas Costa, Thiago Silva, Coutinho, Arthur, Casemiro, Felipe Luis, even to be sitting on the bench. How special is that for a guy like him going through a season like this? So congrats are in order for Joaquin Rivas.
And I think he did get to meet some of the Brazilian players, didn't he, off the
field? He ran into William in the airport and got Fred from Manchester United's jersey. It's not a bad little trip to Maryland.
Not a bad trip. Yeah, well done to him for being selected. And as I said, very important to the Roughnecks cause, the top goal scorer. It's 25 appearances, 10 goals, so not a bad ratio. Tends to play on the left of the 3 in the 4-2-3-1. Here's Mikovic. He's very much a sitting midfielder for Mike Ensign's team. Here's Gamble, who hasn't seen a lot of the ball. Quick ball through to Tavares. Tavares comes across. He's quick, but so is the defender. And there's Cardoni. And that was good defending there from Hernandez, who's just joined on loan. Great defending, Brady Ballou.
Hernandez, at that point, you can't second guess. You have to be all in. He does well to predict that, and especially as Cochran hesitated a little bit on whether to come in that challenge, and you know, the goalkeeper a little bit late to come off his line. So here you can see again in that replay, within inches, great tackle by Moises Hernandez.
Yeah, Moises Hernandez on loan, signed last week, made his debut against Phoenix. Guatemalan international with a perfectly timed tackle there, and forming a great partnership with Cyprian Hedrick, who we've seen at OKC. And in my opinion, is one of the best central defenders in the USL. Cochran then back to the aforementioned Hernandez. Under a little bit of pressure from the young Jesus Ferreira. Here's Hedrick. Feeding the ball out to the right-hand side to Darnell King. There's Gordon, who hasn't really been in the game. Omar.
Cardoni there to you know, kind of finish out the play.
Yeah, Matt Cardoni doing what any good keeper does, which is to save with the legs, the feet, doesn't matter, the hands, whatever it takes. And then there was an offside spotted by the assistant referee. There's Muniz heading the ball away, but he was fouled as he headed. Free kick then to the Roughnecks. Just over 12 minutes gone here, 0-0. That was the first real chance for either keeper to save tonight. Here's Mirkovic in a lot of space. Playing a ball down the left-hand side, trying to pick out his fellow Serbian, Vukovic. But it was just too much for Vukovic and nothing doing for the Roughnecks.
San Antonio electing to play a little bit higher of a line tonight. Maybe that's with the size of the field. They feel like Cardoni can step up off his line a little bit more. They can cheat forward and you know, defend higher up the field. When they win the ball, they can be in that attacking third within one pass. And the Roughnecks are definitely looking to exploit that. You're seeing a lot of balls over the top to Tavares, to Vukovic getting around Rivas, and Rivas coming inside. So looking to see how this unfolds later on in the match.
You caught a little shot there of Coach Ensign, Mike Ensign, who took over the Roughnecks. And his record, actually, 2 wins, 5 defeats, and 4 draws. One of those draws, of course, the incredible game where the Roughnecks were 4-1 up in Seattle last week. Jesus Ferreira hat-trick, and somehow managed to draw the game 4-4. But Ensign's done a pretty good job, and he has been in charge for the only 2 wins of the season. Last win for the Roughnecks was August the 11th, so dearly love 3 points tonight. Here is Eti Tavares, fed in beautifully by Gamble. Tavares, early ball into the box. Cardoni goes down on his 6-yard line. Good thought, though, Brady Ballou, to get an early ball in from Tavares there.
At first, I thought Gamble could hold on to the ball a little bit more, make that center back commit, but ultimately just a well-bent pass to Tavares into space, and then Ferrara making a great run in there, and just maybe not enough mustard on that one from Tavares. But ultimately, good play from the Roughnecks early on.
And Gamble linking up very well with him. Now Lang is running through. The man who's on 3 goals and 3 assists, and Fabian Cerda just took his eye off that one and concedes the corner for San Antonio. The corner then, the first one of the game. And San Antonio with a real chance here to get their first shot on goal or header on goal from the Metro PCS corner. Wireless figured out. And it's going to be Lang with the left foot. Already 2 assists from corners for San Antonio since he joined them from FC Cincinnati. Here he is with the outswinger. And their referee has spotted some pushing, and there will be a free kick. Yeah, Lance Lang very dangerous with the assists with that trusty left foot. 3 goals, 3 assists in 3 games. A real great signing by Darren Powell and San Antonio FC.
Lang just doing a little bit of the extra work on that, just chasing down a bit of a loose end as that ball goes back to Fabian Cerda. And those little instances of energy is what keeps teams in the playoff hunt. Those little things add up enough, which can get you into 7th, which can get you into 6th and make that playoff run a little bit more comfortable. So kudos to his energy tonight.
Yes, indeed. And as you say, those top 8 spots, they fiercely competitive every season. Of course, the Roughnecks did play San Antonio last season. San Antonio winning that one 2-1 in the first playoff match. There's Vukovic into the box, and his Ferreira couldn't quite control it. Cardoni will save from Cyprian Hedrick's kind of sliced clearance back to him.
Love to see that early ball in from Vukovic. You'll see it here right off the half bounce, and Ferrara unlucky with the touch, but ultimately Cyprian Hedrick makes it difficult for Cardoni, but they've swept up the danger. But great ball from Serta over the top early on.
And no question at all, Brady, of a pass back, deliberate pass back from Cyprian Hedrick as one of those ones that the defender just wants to get the ball away, and it just happened to fall to Cardoni. Here's Tavares up against Cochrane. Good battle, that one. Both of them had a piece of each other's arm, I think.
This will be a good battle tonight to watch. Both guys with speed. Cochrane just a defensive stalwart for San Antonio, and the former Chicago man is not gonna, go down easy.
And I thought that was experienced defending from him. He just got his body in the way and slowed the very quick Tavares down a little bit. And in the end, he got the free kick. Here is Tavares back to Paris G. He's back at right back tonight. Chips the ball forward, headed by Gamble. Good first-time header there to Mirkovic. And the Roughnecks playing extremely good soccer here in this first half. Still no score, 17 minutes gone here. Here's Rivas, he's been fairly quiet so far. Mirkovic to Rines. And the captain feeds Parashi as the Roughnecks keep possession of the ball here. Here's Josh Morton.
Morton's been a bit of a pleasure to watch this season for me. Kind of a guy, a jack of all trades, has done everything the coach has asked of him and performed well under those circumstances. So certainly a guy maybe that wasn't expected to be in the situation that he's in, but he's definitely made the most of it. He's making the coach make more difficult decisions. You got to keep this guy in the lineup because he's performing over and over again. And
he plays in a variety of positions, doesn't he? I mean, as you say, he's taken his chance well at centre-back, but we've seen him in the midfield. We've seen him at right-back. No foul there, says the referee. Ball through is going to be Fabian Serta's ball, is it? No, it's still a scramble, and the ball comes back, and San Antonio take the lead on 18 minutes, and it's the man who's come into the side tonight, Cesar Elizondo, his 8th start of the season, and he drives the ball home, and it's the Roughnecks 0, San Antonio FC 1.
Cesar Elizondo wearing the number 10 shirt. A guy like that isn't going to miss with an opportunity like that. Sniffed out chance there, spilled by the keeper, and ultimately a great finish, I think, through the wickets in between 2 Roughneck defenders. Cesar Elizondo now getting hugs, maybe thanking his trainer for keeping him healthy.
Yeah.
Or maybe just a bit of water.
And there is the shake of the hand with the coach, Pal, and that could be an extremely important goal in the quest for a playoff space. And I don't know if you're a Roughnecks fan, is it a little bit familiar when you see, the ball just breaking loose to a San Antonio man as it did? Fabian Serta doing everything he could.
Yeah, a bit of a mess in the back at that situation. Three guys coming together, and those situations, if you, as a forward, you put yourself in the situation to change down those loose ends like Lang had done early in the half, you never know what could happen. So ultimately, it's a product of doing a little bit extra work.
That was San Antonio's 38th goal of the season. And Alessandro, one of the 2 players to step up tonight from the last game. The other one, of course, being Omar Gordon. Is Rivas just managing to get the ball back to the Tulsa Roughnecks left back, Vukovic, who returns the favour now to Rivas. Rivas on halfway, twisting and turning, as Vukovic on the overlapping run with Omar Gordon for company. Is Gamble, who's had the best chance for the Roughnecks. Jesus Ferreira trying to link up with Gamble there. Cyprian Hedrick got the tackle in. Mirkovic will tidy up back to Josh Morton. Covarrubias wearing 57 in the midfield. back to Morton. Morton over the top here, looking for Vukovic. Cross comes Darnell King. But the Roughnecks still have the ball here with Mirkovic. Mirkovic now, what can he do with it? Just plays it short to Covarrubias. Covarrubias up to Ferreira. They try a little 1-2 to Rivas and Ferreira, but nothing doing for the young 17-year-old. And it's through to Cardoni. But pretty good play from the Roughnecks, Brady.
Yeah, it's the third or fourth ball we've seen over the top into Vukovic or Tavares, and you can certainly see that's going to be a theme tonight for the men in orange and blue. I think certainly at this point in the season, the more times you can get the opposing team to be running towards their own goal, it's got to be something that you've got to be happy with.
Talking of running towards the goal, here's Ferreira, out comes Cardoni. Good goalkeeping, but chance here for Gamble. Gamble, can he chip the keeper here? Gamble hits Ferreira, and Cyprian Hedrick will clear off the line. Brady Ballou.
Cyprian Hedrick, a man just thinking maybe a play or two ahead, saving another goal for San Antonio.
So a good response from the Roughnecks, having gone 1-0 down, and the referee awards a goal kick. And there is Michael Gamble, who's certainly giving the San Antonio defense something to think about.
Yeah, two good chances for him early on. I think Coach Encian should be happy with Gamble's performance so far and his effort and his willingness to get in behind. The same with Ferrara. I think these are two guys playing that 9 and 10 role for Tulsa, where they've had to kind of create some of their own luck and some opportunities, and Ferrara getting a hat trick against Seattle. It's got to feel good, and hopefully you can build off that momentum now back at home.
Free kick to the Roughnecks. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Free kick to the Roughnecks. We've played about a quarter of the game here, and it is the visitors from San Antonio that lead by a 1-0. Alessandro with the goal on 18 minutes. Here's Tavares heading the ball infield, headed away by Hernandez. Another header forward by Mikey Lopez, but only as far here as Morton. Morton's got Vukovic wide on the left, but decides to go back to Fabian Soda, who feeds his captain here, Claudio Muniz. Good football from the home side here, playing in those orange and blue shirts tonight. Ball over the top here, looking for Rivas. Rivas with King. King does well to foil the danger and feed Omar Gordon. Great sliding challenge from Mirkovic there, winning it back for the Roughnecks. Here's Vukovic just forward, and that goes all the way through to Cardoni, but good link-up play before that, Brady Ballou.
Yeah, you want to see a team string together a few tight passes in a small area. That way it releases pressure on the long side of the field, and that's exactly what the Roughnecks were able to do, combining here on this side of the pitch, and then ultimately looking for Rivas over the top. And Rivas, I think, having the right idea, while that ball's coming across and King is running towards him, you want to chest that ball back across King, so he's going to have to, you know, essentially pivot and come back. So right thought by Rivas, but ultimately King making a good play.
Here in the midfield is Pekka feeding Cochran. Cochran now just having to check his run there. Here's Hernandez. Left-footed ball over the top, looking for Lance Lang, but he runs out of field, and that's going to go all the way through. Goal kick to the Roughnecks. The away record for San Antonio. They've won 4, they've lost 6, and they've drawn 4. Away, they've beaten Las Vegas 3-1, Oklahoma City 2-1, RGV 3-1, and Real Monarchs 2-1. Overall record is 12-9 and 7. As we say, they dearly love to go away from Oklahoma with 3 points tonight, where the Roughnecks need to come from behind to get at least a point for themselves. Here's Omar Gordon down the right-hand side, feeding the ball through, but doesn't get it through. Morton, and in the end it's going to go harmlessly away for a goal kick, and that's good defending from Josh Morton. You mentioned him earlier, and he in the commentary, Brady, and he's just a good all-round player, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty how you stop those chances, and ultimately maybe you wouldn't say that's an A-plus situation right there, but he gets the job done, and I think that's kind of been the theme of Josh Morton. He's always got the job done in every situation that's been asked of him this season so far, and I'd like to think he has a promising future, the former Cal Bear. We've also had a few other Cal Bears here in the past. Alex Mangels.
Yeah. Who I think was in, if I'm not mistaken, in the goal against the Roughnecks for Portland Timbers.
He was, yeah. Yeah, the tall ginger making his home now in Portland, playing at a beautiful stadium at Providence Park. I mean, that's the future of U.S. soccer, I think, as they expand their stadium and sell out games months in advance.
Now, Ferreira just trying to pick the pocket there of Hernandez, but Hernandez just too experienced for him. Here's Lang. Goal scorer Alessandro. Back to Cochran. That rather hits Alessandro. Ball into the box, away by Cyprian Hedrick. It's going to fall here to Mirkovic. Mirkovic now to Rivas. Back to Mirkovic. Tavares wants it wide on the right-hand side. Mirkovic here will go to Covarrubias. And he feeds it to Josh Morton. Morton just trying to go through the legs of Omar Gordon there, a little bit cheeky, but no touch from Gordon, so throw in to San Antonio. The Roughnecks, as we said, 2 wins this season. Beaten LA Galaxy 2-0 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks 2-1. That was the last win here at ONEOK on August the 11th.
And then the Roughnecks went away for about a month. This is what it felt like, at least. We missed them quite a bit. But a tough road trip up to the Pacific Northwest. But while they were in the Northwest, the Tulsa Drillers, our hometown baseball team here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, capturing the Texas League Championship.
Congratulations to them, the first one in 20 years. Go Drillers, fantastic achievement for them and everybody connected with the Tulsa Drillers. We know some very good people connected with them, so well done to them. Here the Roughnecks, trailing by a goal to 0. And here is Alessandro. Nothing doing there. The Roughnecks have 7 games left, of which 5 are here at ONEOK. They just have to go to Reno and also to St. Louis in October. Next game is on Wednesday here. Brady and I will be in the chair again for that one against the Sacramento Republic. Again, a team in that top 8 position to wanting to secure their place in the playoffs. The Roughnecks officially eliminated, along with Seattle Sounders 2 now. Hedrick forward. Header back, though, from Morton. Picked up in the midfield. But Mirkovic again wins it to Covarrubias here. Good play from the Roughnecks now. Here's Gamble. Gamble just inside the box here. Can he get a shot away? Where's the ball going to fall in the end? It's away by the Brazilian Pekka there. Good move again, Brady Ballou from the Roughnecks.
You have to be encouraged with the way Michael Gamble has approached this latter half of the season. Now we have Lang sitting atop the 18.
Yeah, can he get a shot away with that left foot? No, because Tavares is back there. The 2 number 7s clashing. It just shows you how quickly things change in this game of soccer. That was a really good breakaway from Mr. Lang and co. Here is Cochran's ball into the box, headed away by Morton there. Good defending from him. Rivas now running forward into the centre circle. Looks for help, gets it in the shape of Ferrara. Good 1-2 with him. And then good defending again from the right back, Darnell King, who helped his centre-back partners out in the middle there. Good tackle from him. Now they break down the right-hand side to San Antonio. There's a man down. I think it's Gordon. He got a bash on the head, I think. And I think Michael Gamble here, sportingly, Brady Lee will play the ball out because I think it is a head injury, if I'm not mistaken. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer.
Yeah, it looks like Gordon just caught a little bit of a head-to-head collision with Vukovic. Nothing malicious in that one, just an unfortunate circumstances, and ultimately Gamble kicking the ball out, doing the right thing with where the Roughnecks are in the table. It's, you know, this is a situation where you can kick the ball out. You don't have to play through and try and create another chance while San Antonio is down a man. So kudos to Michael Gamble and co. putting the ball out and making sure Gordon's health comes first.
Brady, read this one for me. The official, USL Match Center says 62% possession for the Roughnecks to 38 for San Antonio. That's a bit of a familiar story for Roughnecks fans, isn't it?
Roughnecks have, this latter half of the season, they've been able to, you know, have these spells of meaningful, truly meaningful possession, and not just in their defensive part of the field, but close to the opposing team's goals. But I think the story that's kind of overridden that has been getting scored on the counter or simple mistakes that are avoidable. And so, unfortunately, while we've seen the play improve this last half of the season, and we've seen a little bit of character and resilience in this team, other teams have been able to maybe jump on our youthful mistakes here in Tulsa.
Yeah, it's a familiar story. It is San Antonio lead by a goal to nil. That was an offside against the Roughnecks. Cardoni clears. Ball falls here to Lang. Lang chips the ball into the box. There was a slip by one of the San Antonio players. I think it was Ever Guzman up there. And Gordon, who's recovered from that bang on the head. Just slipping there, can't keep the ball in. Throw into the Roughnecks. So here they come again in the shape of Michael Gamble, chipping the ball over the top, looking for Eti Tavares. That one just didn't have the right curl on it, just went away from Tavares. He's quick, as we know, but just too much from there, Brady. Good idea, though, from Gamble.
Ultimately, Gamble, yeah, looking to spray Tavares in behind, but with that ball, it just needs a little bit more backspin. From our, point of view up here in the booth, you can see it had a little bit of bend on it, and so maybe just the wrong technique in that situation, but the right idea.
Eti Tavares, just one goal this season, but people I know up and down the league have been impressed with him, particularly his ball control and his speed, of course, which frightens the life out of any defender, although he's up against a very experienced one tonight, as we keep saying, in Greg Cochran.
I've had the pleasure myself to line up against Greg Cochran. I never really looked forward to it. Although a great guy that I enjoyed having a chat with after the game, it wasn't a guy I looked forward to trying to get behind.
Mirkovic wins that one for the Roughnecks, then Hedrick steps in again. Ball's loose here, though, to the aforementioned Tavares. And his understanding with Ferreira just wasn't there. And it goes through to Matt Cardoni. This is his 8th start, Cardoni. 6'3", unmistakable figure. And certainly hasn't let San Antonio down, has he? Wearing the all-green strip tonight. Here he is, clearing right-footed towards the right-hand side, looking for Omar Gordon, who can't keep it in. Throw into the Roughnecks. Morton will just twist and turn and go back to his keeper, Fabian Serda, who tops the league on saves. And here he is again, Serda, the Colombian. And he will clear right-footed. Mike Ensign, the coach, wanted that ball to be a throw into the Roughnecks, and he gets his wish. Here's Mirkovic, who's seen a lot of the ball in the midfield. Goes back to Morton here. Morton across the back four to the captain Muniz. His long ball over the top is looking for Vukovic, who gets there. Good ball back from Vukovic, but in goes Cyprian Hedrick and wins it back. Alessandro to Guzman, but tied it up well by Muniz. Under pressure is Fabian Soda, but he clears it away well. Beautifully cushioned down by Hernandez to Cochrane. Lang now on the halfway line with Paris G for company. G, good 1-2 here with Ferreira. Now G inside the box. Can he pull a ball across? He goes down, and the referee gives the Roughnecks a penalty. And I don't think, Brady Blue, there's any complaint from any San Antonio player there.
Paris G doing all the right things in that situation. Once kind of getting past that defender, the most important thing you can do is cut him off. Take that next touch in front of all that defender's momentum. So the only choice he has is to foul you. Here, we can see from this angle, Moises Hernandez bringing him down, really having no choice, and G putting himself in a good position to earn the Roughnecks a penalty kick. And it looks like we have Vukovic stepping up to, you know, give it his best shot.
Yeah, Vukovic, this will be a left footer. Gets a tap on the back from Mirkovic, up against Cardoni. Vukovic very experienced. Little bit of gamesmanship from Alessandro there. So it is Vukovic against Cardoni. Referee blows his whistle, and up steps Vukovic and scores confidently to the keeper's left. Cardoni went the wrong way. The Roughnecks are back on level terms. It is the Tulsa Roughnecks 1, San Antonio FC 1.
Calm, cool, and collected from Vukovic. Powerful strike into the bottom corner of the net with that left foot. No mistake about it. Cardoni guessing the wrong way, making it almost certain for Vukovic at that point. And kudos to him and his finish.
Vukovic's first goal of the season for the Tulsa Roughnecks brings us level here with just 7.5 minutes to go till half-time. And I think probably if you're a neutral watching this game, you'd say the Roughnecks just about deserve that equaliser.
I would think so. Not only just with the possession numbers, but how this game has, you know, come to life over the last 38 minutes. We've seen the Roughnecks more often than not string together a few passes and then ultimately looking for that long ball over the top and finding success with it. San Antonio really being the one that's kind of found just a mistake in the back and been able to capitalize on it. So, yeah, I would say it might be fair to say 1-1, if not Roughnecks just being up 1-0.
But here come, in the shape of Ever Guzman, San Antonio FC. Guzman with a shot that hits the side netting. And the all-time leading goal scorer for San Antonio FC there. As we take another look at the penalty, here's Vukovic stepping up, and that is what you call, sir, a confident penalty.
Yeah, when you hit the side net first, there's no better feeling as a penalty kick taker. Although no one really ever let me take penalties, in practice, there's no better feeling than hitting the side net first. It doesn't give the keeper much of an opportunity.
And then just after that, we had Ever Guzman there with his first real opportunity on goal.
Yeah, Guzman didn't miss by much there. Not afraid to unleash from any angle to test Fabian Cerda in that top corner.
So free kick. Getting nearer to the half-time break. Well, we'll show you the half-time highlights of this very entertaining game. Poised nicely now, 1-1. Cesar Elizondo's goal on 18 minutes being cancelled out by Vukovic's penalty on 38. Shout out to our ball kids tonight, the Green Country Chevy dealer ball kids who do such a great job around ONEOK. Thank you to them. Keeps the game flowing, doesn't it, when the balls are thrown back onto the field quickly. Here's another one coming in, entertaining for the crowd. Throw in to San Antonio then. Darnell King with it. Here's Cardoni. My apologies, of course, to Fabian Soder, who's not Colombian. Of course, he's Chilean, thanks to our friend Lloyd texting me there. Thanks, Lloyd, for putting me right, of course. The main fact is he's made 98 saves and he's top save maker in the whole league. Could go to 100 tonight, of course. Now, Morton steps in well there for the Roughnecks. Connecting well with Rivas. Rivas wide on the left-hand side here. Slips the ball in here to Michael Gamble. Gamble's back there with Elizondo. Cyprian Hedrick gives it away here to Mirkovic. Mirkovic on the corner of the box, back to Vukovic. But the ball falls nicely here for Omar Gordon, who can come away. No foul, says the referee, as he tripped over Mr. Covarrubias' leg. Mirkovic here into Gamble. Gamble, familiar ball over the top, looking for Eti Tavares, who's just gone a little bit early and a bit too quickly. But we've seen that a few times, haven't we? Gamble clipping that ball over for Eti Tavares, Brady Ballou.
With Eti Tavares' speed, there's no reason for him to be offsides in those situations where he's looking across that back line. You ask as a coach for those wingers to be as patient as possible, especially those speedy wingers. You will get in behind when those balls are clipped. You just got to angle that run. You got to check to the ball a little bit just to create that little bit of space so you're not offside.
Tulsa Bone and Joint is new official orthopedic provider of the Tulsa Roughnecks. Tulsa Bone and Joint, helping to keep the Roughnecks on the field. Delicately poised here at 1-1. Thank you for those of you that are tuning in on Cox Your View channel 1333 as Lang comes in with the shots easily saved by Fabian Soder. And thank you again for those of you on ESPN Plus. Welcome to downtown Tulsa. Tulsa Roughnecks 1, San Antonio FC 1. Here's a shot from Paris G, and he'll be disappointed with that, Brady, because he had time, didn't he?
He had time. He had some options. I imagine guys like Ferrara and Rivas will be, discouraged with that take about 25 yards out at the angle. But, you also don't mind an outside back trying to get in on the action. You can't blame him. And G's had a very bright season, kind of making his home at outside back. And he's contributed a few goals, a few assists. So you don't mind a guy of his caliber taking one from range.
Here's Gordon heading the ball on. Overhead kick in the midfield from Mirkovic. Gordon again was tripped, gets up, plays on. Good to see that.
Love that from Gordon.
Here's Lang. Left-footed ball into the box, headed by Guzman, but nothing doing for Fabian Soder. And goal kick. Well defended by the Roughnecks.
Yeah, composed defending from the Roughnecks. I think they've defended in groups tonight. I think San Antonio has done the same. It's been a pretty feeling out kind of matchup. Both teams throwing little punches and ultimately sending some long balls over the top, making the defense think a little bit extra. But yeah, two teams playing a little bit of a chess match tonight.
Yeah, Roughnecks who went down to San Antonio this season. Game finished 1-1. Omar Gordon's early goal cancelled out by Rivas' 20-yarder. And that was the first points ever that the Roughnecks took off San Antonio, who've won the other 4 games. There was a game in Tulsa in the Open Cup, which the Roughnecks won on penalties in the Open Cup. But in the USL play, it's been all one way with San Antonio. That's a foul on Lance Lang, and this is a dangerous position, Brady Ballou, right on half-time here.
These last 5 minutes of the half, everyone talks about it, and they talk about it for a reason, because it's true over and over again. How often do you see goals in those last 5 minutes or in extra time? We saw that today in the Tottenham game. Tottenham just making a bit of a game of it with 3 minutes left, making Jurgen Klopp a little bit anxious, but ultimately, we're here in Tulsa watching San Antonio have an opportunity to put one in from 35 yards out.
Yep, it's just left of centre. Referee will get the orange shirts back 10 yards, of course. Whole host of players from San Antonio want to take this. Referee's now brought the ball back, actually, a few yards. Certainly Omar Gordon looks pretty confident that he wants to have a crack at goal here. Lang, of course, with that trusty left foot. Gordon is stood alongside him. We're going to get 1 minute added on at the end of this first half. So Lang it is, who's recovered from the foul by Mirkovic, picks himself up. Gordon has just gone a little bit to his right. Roughnecks have 4 in the wall. So will Lance Lang try and test Fabian Söder here in the last few seconds of this first half? Gordon has actually walked away. So referee has blown his whistle. And here comes Lang round the wall, but easily into the midriff of Fabian Söder. And nothing doing. Hit it pretty well, but nothing doing for, no worries for Söder there, Brady.
For the 10-yard run-up he took, I thought there'd be a little bit more power on that shot, but ultimately Lang maybe not getting the ultimate kind of contact he was hoping for. Easy for Söder at that point. And it's been anything but pedestrian from both teams today. I think both teams will look at this first half in the locker room at halftime and think, you know, we put our best foot forward, and now ultimately what coach is going to make the changes to make the difference here. San Antonio with a great depth on their bench, you know, exciting players, and Tulsa should be happy with this lineup they put out tonight, and I think they'd continue on for another 20, 30 minutes without any changes.
Fabian Söder then. This could be the last chance for either team. Here it is. Towards the 18-yard line. Flicked on. Rather hit Rivas. Rivas with Gordon. And the referee brings the first half proceedings to an end. And you'd be a very brave person to predict the outcome of this one, Brady Ballou. That's pretty even in that first half.
I don't dare predict the outcome of this one. And it's been a great game so far. Both teams, you know, putting in solid efforts. I think an unfortunate mistake at the back for the Roughnecks made them, they were punished for it. And Paris G kind of getting behind that back line for that goal that we'll talk about more at halftime. But both teams looking bright.
We'll be back with the halftime show after this short break with the game delicately poised. It is the Roughnecks 1, San Antonio FC 1.
How's it going, everyone? USL's Kelsey Steele here with FC Cincinnati defender Forrest Lasso. So we're well aware of what Forrest can do on the pitch. So today we're going to see what he's got on the court. We've got a game of horse going with a few questions in between. So Forrest, you want to get to it?
Let's do it.
Go.
Oh, let's go. Oh, pressure's on. Let's do it.
We got an H, people. So you're rally guy. Favorite part about North Carolina?
Ooh, sweet team barbecue.
MJ or LeBron?
Oh, that's like the Pele Messi question.
There's only one right answer.
I mean, I'm definitely biased, so I'm MJ. We'll go with Bank this time.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, we got a letter.
Okay, sweet spot then on the court.
Top of the key.
Top of the key, okay.
Oh, yes.
Whose play would you mirror the most?
Little size difference with Dwayne Wade. He was the reason I started watching the NBA.
Get out of here. What, only 5'6", 5'7" at 16, and now you're pushing 6'7" at 25. What's that like for you?
So being the small guy, I was like the run of the litter growing up. I was always the smallest guy on every team, and then once it started to grow, I would like to say I was more technically sound when I was younger and smaller. And as I kind of grew, I kept the technical part of my game, and then I also realized that I had the physical side. When it comes to the game, it's definitely been a blessing. It's a special tool or trait that not everybody has, obviously.
Killing me.
Needed that.
Being pulled in from that Cincinnati community, what do they do bring to you guys?
Oh man, I've been playing this game since, I don't know, 3 years old. Everybody likes the game, not everybody loves the game, and when you go to Cincinnati, you can tell that there's 40,000 people that love it.
You're roommates with Jimmy. Tell me you've got a good story or two living with him over these last few months.
We've probably seen it on a few goal celebrations, but he's got absolutely no rhythm. He's probably going to hate that I told the world this, but he's, when it comes to dancing, this guy's pretty fun to watch.
No, that's short. Ah! Give it to the champ.
That was fun.
That'll do it for us today, Forrest. Thanks for coming along and bearing the heat with us. For now, that'll do it from Tampa.
Supermercados Morelos has the perfect ingredients for you to enjoy. T-bone steak as well as carne asada and specials every week to have an unforgettable time this season. Only with Supermercados Morelos.
Only excellence passion to serve you is our mission. Only with Morelos, the new tradition.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Osage Casino Hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys' night, or ladies' night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel in Skiatook and Ponca City.
What defines you? Your pain, your illness, your injury. At Hillcrest, we see it a little differently. Your hope defines you. Your strength, your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. Because we believe every life is worth fighting for.
Well, welcome back in here to Tulsa, where it's halftime. Tulsa Roughnecks 1, San Antonio FC 1. Alongside me, Brady Ballou. Brady, it's been a pretty even first half, and the score would suggest that. And I think from the chances on goal and the play, you know, you probably say it's about fair at the moment.
Yeah, possession being a little bit more in favor of the Roughnecks at this point, but as we know, possession means nothing. What matters is the scoreboard. We're at 1-1 right now, and yeah, a fair result. The Roughnecks being punished for a mistake in the back, and then ultimately Paris G, moment of brilliance, cutting off a defender, making that defender commit and getting Vukovic into a penalty situation, and then a strong finish.
If you offered Darren Powell, the manager of San Antonio FC, a point now, he wouldn't take it. He wants 3.
He wouldn't take it. San Antonio's in a must-win situation, especially with the St. Louis result earlier today, 4-3 over Swope Park. San Antonio's at that 8th spot of the playoff, you know, kind of situation. You never want to be in that 8th spot because over the course of those last 2 games, anything can happen. You really, at this point, you want to be surging into that 5th position.
And just before we look at the first half highlights, Brady, if you're Coach Ensign, manager, coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, you're probably in there saying, come on, there's nothing to fear here. You can go on and win this game and take 3 points.
Yeah, we certainly alluded to it earlier in the game and kind of in the preview of this game that there's 6.5 games left now, and every individual should be putting their best foot forward to make an impact in the game, to really achieve their goals. And yeah, don't be afraid to attack. Don't be afraid to take chances, because ultimately we're eliminated from the playoffs. Now it's time to showcase your abilities.
Let's have a look at the first half highlights, and it all started off with Michael Gamble, who we picked out in commentary, has had a great first half.
Gamble sure has been bright. We've seen him connecting here, little chop suey right there, and boom, a toe poke into Cardoni's welcoming midriff, and Joaquin Rivas floating offside.
And another lad who's had a good game is that man in the number 7 shirt. That's Eti Tavares, who's giving Greg Cochran something to think about. Nothing doing there. Here's Fabian Serda's long ball to going to end up with Ferreira in the end.
Yeah, Vukovic just getting in behind over and over again in a first-time cross there. You love to see that, you know, unpredictability from Vukovic with that left foot, and Ferrara will be disappointed with that first touch.
But as we've seen so many times for the Tulsa Roughnecks here, there's a little bit of shenanigans there. Nothing wrong there with what Fabian Serda did, but it falls to Elizondo really well, and Elizondo, and he scores a very good goal.
Yeah, Elizondo, he's wearing the number 10 shirt for the reason he punishes teams. That's what his job is. You know, what a great finish. Kudos to him for putting away that opportunity, and unlucky from the Roughnecks.
Back from injury, that was his first goal since scoring on June 16th versus Sacramento. But Ferreira doing everything he could. Here's a shot coming in. It rather hits Ferreira there, and Hedrick clears the ball away. And at this stage, the Roughnecks are 1-0 down. They needed something to happen. And here it was. They got a penalty and the right decision.
Yeah, right decision from the referee for me. Paris G doing everything he can to put Vukovic in a situation to hit the side netting first. You got to love that as a penalty taker. Nice little shout out to the fans celebrating with his teammates here in Tulsa.
And that's how we stand, 1-1. It was just on that penalty. It was a very fine finish. Vukovic hasn't found the net the season before that, but that was a really good penalty, as you said.
He's got to be happy as a left back. Getting the opportunity to take a penalty is it's not often what you see in a team, especially this stage in the season. But Vukovic has been decent so far this season. He pitched in a few assists up in Seattle to Jesus Ferrara with his hat trick. And then ultimately, I think we haven't seen Joaquin Rivas glow into the game like we've seen him do all season. Ultimately, the reason he was selected into La Selecta, the El Salvador national team.
If you're Coach Ensign now, are you saying something like that? We need to get Rivas more on the ball. You know, if we're going to go ahead and win this game. I mean, you've got Gamble that's playing pretty well. Ferreira maybe has been a little bit quiet. You know, Eti Tavares has been quite lively. Are you saying, come on, Rivas, you need to step up here?
Yeah, ultimately, you do want to tell the team to look for Rivas, but at the end of the day, it's up to the individual player to get himself in the game. Go impact the game. Go find the game without breaking the rhythm of what the overall team goal is. So for Rivas, it is a difficult situation. How much do you want to go on your own to impact the game without ruining the structure of, you know, the team's ultimate goal of playing a certain way? So I've been really impressed with Ferrara's work ethic tonight. We've seen him. It's things that don't get mentioned. Him running after the goalkeeper, even when there's no pressure in the game, but him just wanting to impact the game, to speed up the flow. It's been really encouraging to see that from a young guy like him.
Brady, it's very, very delicately poised here, 1-1, isn't it? We were saying it's going to be a very brave man or woman to say which score it's going to be. Will the Roughnecks get their third win of the season? Will San Antonio get a precious 3 points to keep them in the mix in those playoff places? We're back with the second half and more right after this break.
Osage Casino Hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys night, or ladies night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel in Skiatook and Ponca City.
Family pass downs are pretty dang good. It's a good feeling when they start getting responsible for things, and the vehicle's a big part of that.
I want to keep, you know, stacking up the memories and the miles and the years and all the stories you can tell with Athena.
When it's time for your old Chevy truck to become their new Chevy truck, there's Truck Month. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado. Plus, during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
Your Roughnecks are back in action at One Oak Field this week on Wednesday and Saturday to take on Sacramento Republic and the Swope Park Rangers. Wednesday is Bark in the Park and Buck Night. Bring your dogs in the match and enjoy $1 beers, sodas, and hot dogs, courtesy of City of Tulsa Save Our Streams and City Vet Hospital. Saturday the 22nd is Star Wars Night and our Clunker Car giveaway. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. each night. Tickets for these matches are now available at roughnecksfc.com. Vamos, Tulsa!
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Two bulls were fighting. Bam, hit the truck. I could feel the barbed wire was just digging into the paint.
Another ding, another scratch. It'll just be another chapter in the story.
Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado All-Star. Chevy drives Oklahoma. Find new roads.
The downtown Tulsa lights there, you can see the floodlights have been on since the beginning, and certainly this has been an entertaining game with a score delicately poised, as we said, 1-1. Elizondo's goal on 18 minutes, his first since June the 16th in Sacramento, coming back from injury. One of two changes for Darren Powell's team tonight. He scored to put San Antonio 1 up, and then a Vukovic penalty 7 minutes before half-time. Gives us a half-time score of 1-1. The shots on target are in favor to San Antonio, 5-3. Excuse me, that's just shots. And then on target, the Roughnecks have had 1, 2, 3 for San Antonio. But Brady Ballou alongside me, we keep saying, you know, it's 1-1, and the Roughnecks, I guess, would be happy tonight to lose, but they have a real chance to go on and win. But if you're Darren Powell down there in the locker room, you're presumably saying to the players, you know, keep calm, it's going okay, but we're desperate to win this game tonight.
Coaches are most judged on how and when they make their substitutions and what those substitutions do to impact the game. So Powell will be in the ears of some of the substitutions. Hey, I'm thinking you maybe in the 65th, you in the 68th. And, you know, also talking to the guys that are in the game still and saying, hey, I'd like to see more of this. And if this can't happen, maybe we'll look to make a change or move you elsewhere. Just so the team has a real feel for what they're trying to grasp in the early 15, 20 minutes of the second half. Tulsa in an intriguing position here, coming back from 1-0 down. You know, an encouraging battle back, starting with Paris G cutting off his defender. And we've seen Jesus Ferrara impact the game. We've seen Michael Gamble really turn it on these last 10 games or so. And ultimately, it's been really refreshing to see the Roughnecks gain some confidence, some life into what they're doing. You can see there's actually a true belief in how they're approaching 90-minute games and what the end goal is. So we've seen a new Roughnecks team in this latter half of the season. Then now we're looking at San Antonio, a team desperate to make it into the playoffs. That's what this club does. They make it to the playoffs. They make deep runs into the playoffs. They do well. They perform well. The club is ran well. This isn't just something that they're hoping for. This is something that's expected from San Antonio FC.
Yep, San Antonio FC then come in here tonight. We're just looking at the two benches. I mean, if you're looking at the Roughnecks from a sort of attacking point of view, Brady, I guess you'd pick out DJ Dean, who's a young Tulsa lad, isn't he? And possibly Isaac Diaz, who we've seen is a very tricky player. Probably those two, if you were changing it in the attacking sense.
I would suspect you'd see a guy like Isaac Diaz possibly come in earlier than another substitute, just a guy that is not afraid to try and breathe life into a game and, you know, take some chances. He's a bright young guy. Same with DJ Dean, a young guy, and maybe in this situation, because of the circumstances of the season, you're not afraid to put a guy like him to grow his experience as a young professional.
And you look at the San Antonio bench, and they're stacked with talent. We mentioned Charlie Ward, the Englishman there, who's on the bench. Connor Presley, who was in the last game, the young man with the blonde hair, is very lively, and Mike Seth as well, amongst others. So they've got a lot of options on their bench.
Yeah, Mike Seth, the former Colorado man, you know, he's a guy that's been around the league, knows what it takes to come off of the bench and to really make an impact. You look at guys like Maxi Rodriguez for San Antonio, who has been so important, whether he's come off the bench or started games. It's a guy that they trust and they believe in.
Welcome in, everybody, again for the second half. Cox Your View 1333 at ESPN+. Welcome to San Antonio fans, Tulsa Roughnecks fans, and USL fans who just love to see a great game of soccer. And we're seeing one here tonight. 1-1, we're underway. The team all in white is San Antonio FC. The team in orange and blue is the home side, the Tulsa Roughnecks. No substitutions from either coach at half-time. Although, as we said, we suspect others will enter the fray during the second half. There's the captain, Cochran, with the throw-in down the left-hand side as San Antonio play, but tidied up well by Gamble, who we picked out as having an impressive first half for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Cochran will go back here to his keeper, Cardoni, wearing all green tonight. And Hernandez, who gave away the penalty, which Vukovic was able to slot home for his first of the season and bringing us to a 1-1 score. Here's Josh Morton at the heart of the Roughnecks fence. Just trips there. Gordon fires a shot, but it is over and nothing doing there. A little bit unlucky for Josh Morton there, just a little trip.
Yeah,
Brady, just when you don't want a trip as well.
Yeah, Josh Morton getting away with one there, just a little bit unlucky to trip over some turf, and Gordon pushing it wide. Serta hasn't been too busy tonight. I think he's got to be, for the most part, happy with his defense and how they've kind of buckled down on some of the pressure that's come their way. And ultimately, it's been organized. It's been steady from the Roughnecks back line.
The replay there brought to you by Harsco and Tankersley Food Service. Here's Lang down the left-hand side, looking for Guzman here. Guzman down in the corner, up against Paris G. Feeds it back here to Cochran. Cochran tried to play it back out to the left to Lang. Mirkovic doing what he does best and buzzing around the midfield with Gamble. And that was going to go through for a goal kick. And a bright start from both teams, Brady Ballou, in this second half.
Yeah, Greg Cochran, a little bit unlucky to put too much on that ball. I think the ball just got a little bit away from him. You'd like to see that ball on the turf in behind, give your winger a chance to get there. But, hey, what a beautiful night here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a perfect mid-September evening from what it looks like not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, been in the late 80s now, touching on 90 this afternoon. But you're right, perfect for a game of soccer here in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, Paris G wearing 2 for the Tulsa Roughnecks with the throw into Covarrubias. His ball there ends up out, and Cochran will take a throw in right in front of his coach there. Playing the ball back here to Hernandez. Hernandez will go infield. And Hernandez this time will clear long. Headed away by Paris G, who just goes off balance as he headed that one. Tavares does well to steal the ball away for Tulsa. Quick ball forward from Mirkovic. Hernandez headed the ball. Mirkovic now will go out towards the left-hand side, the former St. Louis man. Good play here to Vukovic. Vukovic, low ball into the box. Out comes Cardoni, dives on the ball. And it was just a fraction close, too close to Cardoni from the Roughnecks' point of view, Brady Ballou.
Vukovic has to be a little bit upset with his service in that one. But, however, Tulsa would like to be better to have 3 guys in that box, making those 3 runs near, far, and ultimately someone coming in late to that penalty spot. But Vukovic really only having one option, but still straying it towards the keeper.
There's Rivas getting a touch in the second half, a man that's so important to the Roughnecks' cause. Covarrubias with a long ball. The Roughnecks have been playing a long ball game tonight over the top of the San Antonio defense. Here's Tavares up against Cochran. G on the overlapping run from right back. Clips a left-footed ball into the midriff of a San Antonio player. It was Pekka winning it back. And that is easily cut out by Covarrubias, who threads a nice ball into space here to Michael Gamble. But again, Hernandez steps in with the challenge. Danger averted temporarily. It's end-to-end stuff now. Hope you're enjoying this as much as we are. 1-1 the score.
Moises Hernandez having himself a good game with the exception of giving me that penalty. He's been having a strong performance tonight, the loanee from FC Dallas.
Good player and links up well, doesn't he, with Cyprian Hedrick. Good defensive pairing there in the heart of the defence. Lang clips the ball over the top to Gordon. Gordon nearly got his ready for a shot there, but Vukovic did well. Left-footed clearance from Fabian Serda. Easy for Cyprian Hedrick here, the former OKC man. Here is the aforementioned Hernandez, who did give away the penalty 7 minutes before half-time. Cochran up to Ever Guzman there. Now a long ball over the top. That's been the rarity tonight from San Antonio. Brady, haven't tried too many long balls over the top, have they? It's been more of a build-up, intricate build-up from them.
Yeah, not too much. I think we've been able to see Darnell King and the other outside back, Cochran, get up pretty high, and then we're seeing Pekka drop in between those 2 center backs, Cyprian and Hernandez, just to kind of create that little bit of space and that width for San Antonio. And surprised that they've gone with, you know, the approach that they have, and that they're going for almost one pass too many for me. I think they've had the opportunity to get balls in behind a little bit more often, but ultimately maybe that's what Powell is looking for. He wants that slow, consistent build-up to move the team up as a whole in a block.
Here are the Roughnecks then with Mirkovic. Two different styles. Long ball over the top. Here's Rivas. San Antonio doing well there to foil the danger there from Rivas. He could be a dangerous player, of course, in and around the box. 10 goals this season for the Roughnecks. Here's Hernandez back to Cochran. Hernandez again. Trying to work their way out, as Brady Ballou was saying. They like to build from the back, and they're not afraid to pass it around to get out of the back. Here's Tavares to Covarrubias. Looking for Tavares again, and that one will go all the way through to Cardoni. Instagram, the USL's official Instagram account, has highlights, photography, and interactive content with the league's players. Get it all at www.instagram.com/USL Soccer. And here are San Antonio playing their way out from their own 18-yard line. Here's Cyprian Hedrick. You need a lot of confidence to do that, and certainly these players have played a lot together, and they have the confidence of a team that is wanting to finish in the playoff places. Here is Eti Tavares. Sipping the ball in here, looking for Gamble. Out comes keeper Cardoni. Gamble now. Can he twist and turn? He can. Back to Tavares. Tavares back to Gamble. Gamble again, a little turn inside the box. What's he got to support him? Here's Mirkovic. Mirkovic now back to Paris G. Exciting play from the Roughnecks. Here's Covarrubias. Going on a little run here, past two. No foul, says the referee. It was all good. Good play again from Gamble inside the box.
Yeah, Gamble doing everything he can to wheel and deal his way into the 18, but we've seen a strong, steady performance from that San Antonio backline. Very organized with Hernandez and Cyprian, and Cardoni organizing everyone in front of him.
There's Darnell King with the clearance over Vukovic. And now here is Omar Gordon. A couple of subs warming up for San Antonio over there. Ever Guzman's got a chase on here, won't get that one. New Balance is the official sportswear provider of Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Look for a full line of New Balance products in the Roughnecks team store at One Oak Field. Vukovic, the goal scorer. Clipping the ball over the top here to Rivas. Cardoni thought about coming and stayed at home, but there was an offside flag anyway, and the long ball just didn't quite come off that time, Brady Ballou.
Yeah, cute little ball over the top from Vukovic, just delicately dinking it, and unfortunate for Joaquin Rivas and the Roughnecks, him just straying offside. But that's what you like to see from the Roughnecks. We're, you know, almost 10 minutes into the second half, and we're still looking in behind early, not afraid to pierce those balls in behind. And I think now that we're seeing those San Antonio subs get warm, that is what we kind of talked about at halftime. It's almost time for San Antonio to truly inject some life into this game because 3 points is a must at this point for them.
1-1 the score. Here's Eti Tavares then attacking the San Antonio goal here. Sips the ball into the box. It's going to fall nicely, though, for Omar Gordon. Just went behind the 4 orange shirts that have made the run into the box. But the Roughnecks have won it back. Here's Mirkovic through to Rivas, who's onside. Rivas now, left-footed shot, which I think grazes the bar, but it's over, and there he is, Mr. Rivas, with 10 goals, the man from El Salvador. And that was a pretty good effort, Brady Ballou, with the replay.
Yeah, a man with 10 goals at this stage in the season, you'd be expecting a shot from a guy like Rivas. Ultimately, he's got Ferrara and Gamble making runs inside the box, and they'll be disappointed with his decision. But I applaud Joaquin Rivas and, you know, going for that near post on Cardoni, who at that point in that situation, he does have to cheat a tiny bit, expecting somewhat of a cross. He's not expecting a guy maybe on his left foot to take that near post.
Now here's Cochran on the left-hand side for San Antonio. Further infield, clipping the ball towards the 18-yard line. There's Captain Munez, who rarely puts a foot wrong for the Tulsa Roughnecks, at the heart of the defence. And now the Roughnecks is end-to-end. And here's Ferreira, Jesus Ferreira, inside the box here. Here he is, Ferreira, and surely Tavares for 2-1. It is, it's 2-1. Eti Tavares, his second goal of the season, and all the hard work was done by Jesus Ferreira. But there is Eti Tavares to slot the ball home. It is the Roughnecks 2, San Antonio 1.
San Antonio should maybe think about hitting that panic button at this point, this stage in the game. 2-1 to Tulsa at this point. Well done by Jesus Ferrara, wheeling and dealing his way into the 18, chopping a few defenders and a few fortunate bounces, but being calm, cool, collected. The 17-year-old slicing and dicing his way through, finding Eti Tavares coolly at the penalty spot and slotting it home with his right foot around Cardoni.
Here's the replay, and Jesus Ferraro does extremely well, keeps calm here.
Absolutely, keeping calm, cool as you want. Eti Tavares with a delicate little finish in the far corner, making sure he's onside, and Coach Insien will be extremely happy with Jesus Ferraro and Eti Tavares at this point.
Substitution was made by San Antonio, and on to the field comes Maxi Rodriguez, the number 21. To try and change these up, as you said, Brady.
Yeah, here we'll get another look at it. Well done by the 17-year-old. And then don't take anything away from Eti Tavares in that finish. Although he doesn't go with the elaborate celebration, that's a great finish and something the Roughnecks really need at this point in the game and this point in the season.
2-1 they lead. So the first change from either manager was made by Darren Powell for San Antonio. Rodriguez comes into the fray. Well, the Roughnecks have continued to play, haven't they? They've come out in the second half. You know, what are we, 13 minutes into the second half? And, OK, they soaked up a little bit of early pressure and go away and get the second goal for them on the night. They lead it by 2-1, and fair play to the bottom place side.
Yeah, so often you see when a team goes up 2-1 or 1-0 or even, you know, ties the game at 1-1, you see them all of a sudden start to soak up pressure and back down and, you know, kind of wilt and let the other team impose their will on the game. But even after this second goal for Tulsa, the first thing they do is look long in behind, because ultimately they've found success finding Tavares in behind, having Ferrara chase down loose ends. So an infectious last 5 or 6 minutes from the Roughnecks.
Indeed it is. Stay up to date with the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. Here is Rodriguez getting into the action, wearing 21. And now San Antonio desperate to get on level terms. Ball back here to Serda, who will clear first time. That one will go out.
Yeah, you don't mind that from Fabian Serda in that situation with a guy breathing down his neck. Just get that ball out of pressure and, you know, reset defensively, get organized and start over.
Here's Lang. Cochran on the overlap. Does he get a handball there? No, play on, says the referee. Out comes Serda, does well. I think the ball's still in, says the assistant. And that will be a throw-in.
Goalies love that, don't they? They live for that kind of stuff, making a save and it going out for a throw-in, not conceding for a corner kick.
Here's Mickey Lopez. In the box, header back across goal. Here's Gordon, good save from Serda. Was it over the line? No, says the linesman, who was looking right along there. And the Roughnecks clear the danger.
Brilliant by the captain, Munoz, on that back line. Him and Serda really imposing that defensive will into the game. But the pressure's not done yet. Now it is. Absolutely fantastic, thinking ahead, thinking, what does the goalkeeper need from me? We see it here on this replay. Vukovic getting in the way. Gordon doing everything he can with a deflection. A great save by Serda. He'll be hugging Munoz later.
Well, certainly Muniz's feet were behind the line, but I don't think there's any question the ball was over the line. It might have been one of those that in the English Premiership, the referee would look at his watch to see the goal line technology, but I think it's a correct decision. I don't think it was a goal.
Yeah, from our point of view up here in the booth, it didn't look like the whole ball was over, maybe a hair of it, but Munoz doing everything he can to make darn sure that it's nowhere near going past.
And thank you again to Harsco and Tankersley Food Service for the instant replays that we get, that we can show you here on Cox Your View 1333, and of course those of you joining us here on ESPN Plus. Here is Omar Gordon. San Antonio trying to build something here with Lopez. Lopez will take the throw in. Darnell King. Lopez again now. San Antonio not used to this, having won their last 3 games on the bounce. Majkovic has gone down holding his leg. San Antonio playing on. Ball clipped over the top. Out comes Fabian Söder, and he will dive on the ball. And I think Majkovic will need some attention here, Brady Blue, as the ball is kicked out.
Yeah, it looks like Mirkovic just getting tangled up with Lopez on that last tackle, grabbing for his left hamstring. You never like to see that. Didn't look like a contact injury. You know, maybe a little bit of fatigue coming in for a guy of his age at this point in the season on a hot September night. These minutes, these plays add up. Ultimately, Kobe Dale Smith will, the trainer for the Roughnecks, will come on and give him a look.
There he is, the man who fixes all the bruises, the breaks, everything else. There he is. And he says he's pretty good at golf as well. Is that true?
You know, he's actually, for the amount of times I've golfed with him, I'd like to badmouth him, but he's a great golfer.
Another replay there from Harsco and Taxi Food Service there, and that is where you can see Majkovic going down there, holding his, I would say, left hamstring, which might be difficult to come back to in this game. Court furniture has played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home in Tulsa. Court furniture, there when you need it, and gone when you don't.
Well, the Roughnecks and Kobe Smith will be discouraged by Mirkovic grabbing that hamstring, and I think as the whole Roughnecks locker room knows, Mirkovic probably spends the most time in that locker room getting treatment from Kobe and the athletic training staff. He's always in early asking for you know, different massages and different wraps and things like that. So this just means more work for Kobe Dale Smith.
Majkovic is there chatting with Kobe on the line here, just discussing whether he is going to be able to come back into the fray. It will be a restart. There's Coach Ensian in the white top there, alongside Wayne Farmer. And the ball will go all the way back here to Fabian Söder, who applauds the sporting gesture from San Antonio FC. 64 minutes gone. It's the Roughnecks who lead by 2-1, looking for only their 3rd win of the season. Following up the wins against LA Galaxy and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Here, though, San Antonio looking to get on level terms here with the right back. Darnell King is really pushing forward now. Lang blasts the ball into the chest of Eti Tavares, who's scored his 2nd goal of the season, which gives the Roughnecks the lead. There he is. He won't mind too much. Lang has gone to take this left-footed corner. San Antonio used to scoring goals from corners. I've had a couple in the last few games from Lang's assists. Here it is, towards the penalty spot. Edric goes in there, and it'll be volleyed away by Covarrubias. He's back in his own box. And here's Rivas feeding the ball out to Gamble. Gamble just about keeps it in. Jesus Ferreira has a lot of work to do to try and get near the ball there. Here's Hernandez going back to keeper Cardone.
The Roughnecks haven't had a lot of teams' numbers this season, but with a 1-1 draw at San Antonio earlier this season, now leading 2-1 the 66th minute.
Here's Gordon. Low ball across the board. Could be a tap-in. No, great save from Fabian Söder. Lang must have thought he was going to get his 4th goal for San Antonio. And in fact, Fabian Söder's gone down. Lang's inside the goal. Brave from both players. We could have an injury situation here, Brady Ballou. But my goodness me. Lang threw himself at that as though his life depended on it. And so did the goalkeeper for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Lang will be dumbfounded at this point how that ball didn't go into the back of the net, sort of flying across the goal mouth. I don't think he'll mind picking up a little knock, running into the post, all his teammates patting him on the chest. Here we'll see Gordon putting in just the perfect ball, sliding across that 6, making the keeper move his feet, and what a great save. And I think a little bit of a head contact into Serta from Lang's foot, and Lang now just going down, maybe milking it a little bit for me. I think just maybe discouraged that that ball didn't go on the back of the net.
Well, Fabian Serta was on 98 saves. Certainly that's 99, and maybe I missed one in the game, so maybe he's got the 100 saves, but that was it. That's kept the lead intact, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's got to be one of the best of those 99 saves I think we just saw about a minute ago, but Serta paying the ultimate price. And like I was saying earlier, almost curse of the commentator in this situation, Tulsa has had the number of San Antonio with the 1-1 draw earlier in the season, now being up 2-1 the 68th minute. Maybe just a certain situation that San Antonio hasn't figured out the way to break Tulsa down.
And I can confirm, Brady Blue, from our brilliant team here at One Oak, that we have it confirmed that officially Fabian Serta has made 100 saves in
100
the USL this
saves.
season.
Congratulations, my friend. This one will feel good. Maybe not right now, but you'll look back in a few weeks and you'll be proud of this one.
Chase Gentry, who has been in goal. Fabian Serta, who missed a game through suspension, could come into the fray. Serta's back on his feet, thankfully. There is Gentry, warming up, got the gloves on. But Fabian Serta, I think, is going to be okay to continue. And you just look around, and there's one or two San Antonio players just a little bit frustrated, I think, that they're trailing here, Brady. And the Roughnecks, as we know, with pride to play for, feeling they deserve to be up, and, you know, 2-1 it is with, what, 22 minutes to go.
Yeah, the Roughnecks tonight have put together a great team performance so far. Not afraid to build out of the back, but also not afraid to pull that long ball out and make San Antonio defenders run towards their own goal. I don't think any shame in that, in the way they've connected small passes before and then looking for that ball over the top. I wouldn't go as far as calling it long ball, because truly it's a calculated ball over the top. It's not just hopeless at this point. So encouraging stuff from the Roughnecks.
And encouraging stuff inside the box here. Will they get another chance? A goal? Cardoni comes down and gets both hands on the ball and foils the danger and wants to go long and punt the ball down the field here quickly. But he's now just going to roll it out to Cyprian Hedrick. Cyprian Hedrick, who got his first career goal last weekend with a fantastic header inside the box from the Lang corner. Really great header. I was surprised to read it was his first career goal. But obviously his first job is to be a fantastic central defender that he is. Here are San Antonio coming forward again. Serta's there. That was an offside flag anyway, as Lopez tried to feed in Lang.
Love that little idea from Lopez, the outside of his foot, bending that ball with a cheeky little chip in between the two defenders. I mean, the skill that takes, take nothing away from you know, how clever that was.
Slice clearance away is going to result in Cardoni just about keeping the ball in. Good goalkeeping from him, and then anywhere will do as he trots back into his goal now. Did well to make sure the Roughnecks didn't have a corner there. A special thank you to Soccer City in Tulsa, an official partner of the 2018 Tulsa Roughnecks. That's good play inside the box by Gamble. In the end, the defender just did enough. Given away, though, again. Covarrubias here, driving a ball down the right to Eti Tavares. Tavares has been lively all night. Rodriguez. Gordon has got King on the overlap. Gordon goes central, away by G. Covarrubias to Morton, and Morton will go to the left-hand side, and that's too much for Michael Gamble. And a throw-in, and in very important phase of the game now, Brady Ballou.
Yeah, about 20 minutes left in the game, and I think the Roughnecks should be encouraged with, you know, how they've approached this game. I think they found success getting the ball, you know, clipped in behind to their wide players like Tavares, and not shying away from it. So often you see teams have success doing one thing and they get away from it, and especially wingers are left just with huge question marks over their head. Hey, this was working. Why did we go away from it? So Roughnecks will be encouraged, but San Antonio won't stop.
Here's Lang now. Can he pull the ball back? Here's Lang again into the box, headed away by Vukovic there. Gamble can't keep that one in. Throw into San Antonio, really trying to put the pressure on here. The Roughnecks defense. Roughnecks on the 18-yard line.
If I'm Darren Powell at this point, I'm loving what Lang brings to this side. His relentless pursuit of the goal and, you know, impacting the game and infectiously getting crosses in, and not meaningful crosses. He's pumping balls into the box, and we've seen him in 3 games, have 3 goals, 3 assists. This is a guy that, you know, you should look to at this stage in the game. 20 minutes left.
That was our Green Country Chevy ball kids. Thanks again to them. Roughnecks are going to be bringing in a young man, DJ Dean, in just a minute or so, as they make their first change of the night. 1 change for San Antonio in the second half, as Rodriguez has come into the fray. Now, ball loose here. Gordon has stolen it. Gordon on a run here. Can he get a shot in? He's going to feed it here to Lang. Lang with his left foot drives it towards the goal into the side netting. Lang wants the corner. The referee disagrees. Goal kick. Brady Ballou.
How quick is Gordon? Just breezing past Mirkovic there and picking out a pass, electing to push it wide to Lang. And Lang giving it his best shot once again, but sort of up to the task, seeing it out wide. And now we welcome DJ Dean into the fold.
Yeah, DJ Dean, Union High School here in Tulsa. He's had a pretty good season, been given some opportunities. Mirkovic has done his bit, slight hamstring pull as well. So we'll see who's going to go back inside the central midfield position. DJ Dean will come onto the left. And it looks to me like Michael Gamble has been asked to go alongside Covarrubias, Brady Ballou.
Yeah, it looks like Gamble's been asked to come back a little bit. Rivas kind of being put at the top of that triangle in the midfield and DJ Dean out wide.
Ball into the box here for San Antonio. King wants the corner. King has got the corner. Muniz wasn't happy with that. And it'll be another great left-footed delivery from the man on loan from FC Cincinnati, and that is Lance Lang. There he is, getting ready to take this one. The Metro PCS corner kick. Metro PCS wireless figured out. Here it is. Ball into the box is a good one. Muniz there was being fouled, or might be Morton there by Hernandez. Stood well, did Josh Morton, Brady Ballou, and the Metro PCS wireless figured out corner didn't come to anything.
No, yeah, wave after wave of San Antonio attack has provided them with another corner, but you know, kind of childish pushing at that stage of the corner, making the referee's decision pretty easy.
Fabian Soda then clears from the free kick. 15 minutes left in this one. Eti Tavares has just lost control of the ball. Cochran now with a little sense of urgency, the captain. Trying to get his side back in on level terms to start with. It's a foul by Tavares, who pleads his innocence, but as soon as a player goes down in that position, I think it's got to be given a free kick. Substitution for San Antonio. Gonna have a substitution for Darren Powell's man in just a moment. Hernandez then striding forward towards the halfway line, clipping a ball towards the left-hand side, headed in field by Cochran, only as far as G, who will clear, but has given it right back to San Antonio. Rodriguez gets it to Gordon. Gordon now clipping the ball over the top. That's going to be easy for Serda. Good defending again from the Roughnecks.
Yeah, with 14 minutes left, you're going to see guys like Greg Cochran get further up the field. in that instance, just getting a little unlucky with the service, but you'll see him blazing forward. You'll see King take some more chances as San Antonio makes it look at even, because at this point, 14 minutes, you got to be maybe not happy, but you certainly need a tie at this point for San Antonio.
Here they come again. Rodriguez still maintains his balance here. Gordon will slip the ball to Rodriguez again, but across comes Morton. Morton left-footed ball away, only as far as Gordon again. Goes back towards his halfway line. Now runs in field. Picks out his captain, Cochran, who picks out the dangerous Lance Lang. I say that commentator's curse. He just runs out of pitch, but to be fair, Paris G did well. And we're going to see a substitution. And it is the Brazilian Pekka who's coming out, gets a handshake with Darren Powell, and in comes Mike Seth. Mike Seth, who did start the last game, the 30-year-old, ex-Phoenix and Colorado player, of course. Very important to the San Antonio cause. Dropped to the bench today, but he's in now for the last 13 minutes. Brady, if you're Coach Ensign, do you make a defensive substitution to protect the lead now?
It's always tough in these situations, isn't it? With 12 minutes to go, you making that defensive substitution almost invites too much pressure. You take a guy like Eti Tavares or Joaquin Rivas off the field, and maybe you bring in another defensive midfielder. Well, that's one less guy to put pressure higher up the field. Therefore, someone sitting in front of that back line, where that back line is afraid to push up because they know they have numbers directly in front of them. So I think if you're Coach Ensign this stage of the game, leave it.
It's certainly not the roughneck style, is it? Let's say they like to continue to attack. And here they are with Jesus Ferrari, who scored a hat-trick. The first one for a Roughnecks player in the 4-4 incredible game. That's broken loose here for Guzman. Guzman now bears down on goal and puts it just wide. Well, you probably would have put your house on him scoring that one, Brady, but it just curls past the post. And in fact, the referee said it got a touch from a defender. It's going to be a corner, or was it another save for Fabian Serta? Here we go.
Yeah, almost too open at this point. It's the perfect situation. Does look like Serta gets another fingertip save to that one, pushing it wide. Great angle taken by Fabian Serta there. Oh, and it looks like maybe they have changed their mind.
Well, interesting. As we saw the replay, we were just about to chalk up 101 saves for Mr. Serta, but I don't think he gets that when he stays on 100.
Take nothing away from the angle Serta took to make himself big and to cut off that angle. But ultimately, San Antonio will be left really frustrated to miss out on that opportunity.
They'll feel frustrated. The Roughnecks will take a little bit of good fortune there, because so many times the Roughnecks have conceded goals, soft goals like that, where it's just broken to an attacker who's been able to put the ball in the back of the net. Here's DJ Dean into the box. Did that come off the defender? He keeps it in. And it'll be a corner to the Roughnecks, I believe it is.
You've got to like that from DJ Dean, electing not to swing that ball in, knowing he didn't have many numbers in the middle, and that would ultimately invite a counterattack from San Antonio. Smart from the young kid.
Here's Rivas with the Metro PCS wireless figured out corner for the Roughnecks. Holds both arms aloft. This will be a left footer from the El Salvadorian. Here it is towards the back post. There's Cardoni with a great catch under pressure. And Josh Morton came in on him there. Nobody's getting too upset with that. I think Morton's entitled to go for the ball there. And Cardoni gets up and he's absolutely fine. And we are going to see a substitution for the Roughnecks. And we're going to see the very excited diminutive figure of Isaac Diaz. And it is Covarrubias who will make way for him. Now, this will be interesting, Brady, because I just said to you, do you make a defensive change? I would suggest to you that Isaac Diaz is an attacking change.
Yeah, absolutely, especially taking a guy like Covarrubias, who kind of sits in that 6 or that 8 role for Tulsa, and then putting in a guy like Isaac Diaz, you know, you kind of see him float around that number 10 role. And that's going to bring possibly Gamble even further back on the field. And I imagine Isaac Diaz is just going to sit in kind of a central location ultimately, and there's still 3 in the middle in that triangle, but curious to see the thoughts behind putting in an attacking player at this stage of the game.
I mean, Paris Dew is playing at right back, has played central midfield, but he remains at right back. I'm sure Coach Hensing doesn't want to alter the back four. Going to be an interesting 9 minutes. Don't go away. 2-1 the score. The Tulsa Roughnecks looking for their 3rd win of the season. San Antonio desperate for points in that top 8 spot at the moment.
What this looks like to me is a coach that trusts his players, knowing any man that can come in and he can count on him to get the job done and see out this result.
Tavares is quick. Well, that's a great challenge coming in, and San Antonio come away with the ball. That's a good challenge from G. And now everybody is throwing themselves at the ball. Here's Lang. Threading the ball out to this right-hand side to Omar Gordon. Gordon's ball is long and high and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, the game certainly opened up at this stage, just like Gordon's cross there, seeing it stray out of bounds. But yeah, the game's going to get stretched to this point with some changes, some reserves coming in, trying to, you know, stay off the back shoulder of some of these defenders. This game's going to get stretched.
Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on uslsoccer.com. Roughnecks next in action here at ONE Oak on Wednesday night when they entertain Sacramento Republic FC. Ball flicked on. Guzman, who's been relatively quiet, has had 2 efforts really, one in the first half and that one we saw not so long back, just curling it wide of the post. Serda will come out and collect it gratefully. 7 minutes to go. Serda clears towards the left-hand side for DJ Dean. And Dean is been adjudged to a foul. Is that a foul for you there, Brady Ballou?
I think I disagree with the referee in this situation. Outside back looked like King.
Yeah, King is down.
King going up and challenging for that ball before DJ Dean has a chance to make a play on it. He's already up, and if anything, he's clipped himself in that situation. But I understand where the referee's coming from. You see those typical kind of plays where the guy on the ground is bucking, you know, that defender coming in for the header. So,
and I'm just wondering whether King, and we do hope he's all right, but he looks in agony there, whether it was the way he came down onto the turf rather than the connection with Dean.
Right. Yeah, it looks like he'll continue on, yeah.
Now, here's a good threaded ball down the left-hand side. Cochran's left-footed ball. It's a great ball into the box. There's a header, and he didn't get enough on it. Ever Guzman there. And he scored a goal in the last game from the corner, a powerful header. He just didn't get enough on that one, Brady.
Yeah, Cochran doing extremely well to surge that ball in from that left side with his dangerous left foot. And like we had, you know, just mentioned 10 minutes ago, this is the part of the game where Greg Cochran, I think, really breathes, you know, his attacking life into the game. And, yeah, Roughnecks fortunate to get away with one there.
Now, Fabian Serda has an issue here. He's talking to his captain, Munoz. There's the unfortunate Darnell King, who's just trying to run that injury off. Fabian Serda's got an issue here. The referee is saying to the San Antonio players, I have the watch stopped, don't worry. I'm just wondering whether it's an issue he's got a bang on the head, is he? Or Gordon's interested in going out to find out what's going on. And it's all a bit of a mystery, Brady Ballou, at the moment.
Yeah, possibly a bit of gamesmanship from Fabian Serda. When it does come to anything dealing with the head, I think soccer around the world has taken it a little bit more seriously. I think guys like Taylor Twellman have stepped up and talked about things like concussions extremely seriously. And, you know, take nothing away from Fabian Serda here. And, you know, you have to respect the head.
And I think Munoz is acting as translator there, I think, to Kobe a little bit to get it exactly the extent of the injury. And certainly, it's a bit of concern here for the Roughnecks. The referee would have told the players the watch is stopped. There's no question there at all. Chase Gentry will, again, I'm sure, be getting ready, can come in.
Yeah, it looks like they're asking for a substitution.
And there's the referee telling the San Antonio players, don't worry, the watch is completely stopped.
Yeah, athletic trainer Kobe Smith running through concussion protocol with Fabian Serta with the help of Munoz translating.
Yeah, and he's coming out. Let's just see here what it could be from that save that our brilliant team was showing us from earlier on. That was a fantastic save, and that was his 100th save of the season.
And it looks like he just caught Lang's left knee into the temple kind of area. So hopefully this is nothing too serious, just precautionary for Serta. You know, this is the right thing to do from Kobe Smith and the training staff of Tulsa. Now, a very exciting moment for Chase Gentry to see out this result for Tulsa.
Fabian Serta will sit down. Well, an interesting change this one, Brady Blue. Cyprian Hedrick is coming off, and Charlie Ward, who's definitely an attacking midfield player, comes on.
A guy like Cyprian will understand certainly the, you know, why this is happening. Not going to take anything personal from being pulled off the field. This is simply strategic, and a guy like Ward will, you know, certainly get up the field more and have a better chance to score.
So 3 at the back, you would have thought, wouldn't you, for...
yeah, it looks like it.
For San Antonio. And Darnell King is still limping from that challenge by DJ Dean. Chase Gentry, a big 10 or so minutes for him. I say 10, we're not sure of what will go on the board, but you would have thought at least 5 or 6 with the stoppages and the substitutions we've had. So a big chance for him. Of course, he did come on at half-time, didn't he, in a recent game here at One Oak when Fabian Serta was substituted at half-time.
I'm sure Coach Incian will be happy he didn't burn that last substitution before he did.
Right. That would have been an interesting one going back to what I used to watch.
Take your pick of the lot. Who you think would step up and, you know, favor their skills in goal for the Roughnecks? Maybe that's the next Twitter question.
Right. Now here is Lopez feeding a ball to Lang. Can Lang work some magic for San Antonio? No, he can't. He blasts the ball into the legs of Paris G. Lang, though, long looping throw. Muniz with a good header. G will clear the danger out to the right-hand side for Rivas. Rivas can't keep the ball in there. Maybe had more time than he thought. Gets a pat on the back and encouragement from Encian, who's looking for his 3rd win as coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks. Step over there. Away by Morton. Brady Blue says, calm down, everybody.
This game is begging for someone to put a foot on the ball. And ultimately, it starts with guys like Chase Gentry doing just what he's doing right now. Sit on the ball, let the game breathe. Say, we've done this before. We've been in the lead before. Even if those opportunities have come seldom and far between.
Tulsa Roughnecks are excited to partner with Titan Sports and Performance Center as the official training center for the Roughnecks. Check out their website for more information on what Titan has to offer, titansportscomplex.com. So certainly some time to be added on at the end of this one. As San Antonio come forward again now, trailing by 2-1. Darnell King will find Gordon. Gordon clips the ball centrally, looking for Guzman. Guzman here, trying to lay the ball off to Gordon. Gordon trips and gets up again. Here's the low ball in. It's going to fall here to Dean. Mike Seth it was with the ball in. That's a good ball in. Guzman heads it across, and then a shot is blocked again. And Guzman with a header, and then a shot blocked. And the Roughnecks are able to foil the danger as we see 8 minutes to be added on. 8 minutes at the end of this game, which will please San Antonio fans, no doubt, as they look to get something out of this game. Brady Blue, 8 minutes.
Last-ditch defending will be asked of every person on the field for the Roughnecks. San Antonio will be extremely happy with 8. They'll be counting their lucky stars for those
San Antonio
extra minutes.
Will be believing that if they can get on level terms, then they could go on and take all 3 points here. The Roughnecks defending here with Morton, heading it away. Ball's loose here. Seth inside the box here. What can he do with it? He'll look back and he'll go back to King. King now trying to go round one. Good tackle coming in from Gamble. That won't help King's right leg either. Here's Gordon twisting and turning. Exciting stuff here at the death of this game. Sliding challenge coming in. And here's Isaac Diaz, who's virtually having his first touch of the ball. Paris G gets up with that sliding challenge. Now here's Jesus Ferreira on the right-hand side. Can he go down the right wing here? He won't get past Cochrane. He goes back to keeper Cardoni. Roughnecks need to try and hold the ball up front if they can to take some of the time off the clock. We've played 1 minute of the 8 to be added on. The referee says free kick to the Roughnecks. Charlie Ward will apologise to Isaac Diaz.
Yeah, if you're a Roughnecks fan at this point in the game, you're begging your midfielders to track back. It's so easy in these situations to turn off, to take a play off when the ball, switches possession. But it's the leaders of this team, guys like Vukovic, guys like Munoz, asking guys like DJ Dean, Isaac Diaz, fresh guys to be tracking back, doing the extra work to contribute on defense.
Well, a third would be icing on the cake for the Roughnecks, but Jesus Ferreira there couldn't quite get on the end of the ball. That pass into the box. Here come San Antonio again. Lopez. Lang. Hits G and then hits Lang, and the Roughnecks will take the throw-in. Case and Associates is home for the Roughnecks players when they're not on the pitch, and you can look to Case for your apartment needs. You can find Case and Associates online at caseusa.com.
Oh, what a great game. This is what you'll want, isn't it?
The USL at its best, a team at the bottom of the league, officially eliminated from getting in the playoffs against a team who started the night in 7th, went to 8th with the result at Swope Park, and now desperately wanting at least a point now. And of course, before kickoff, they would have been hoping to have beaten the bottom side and take all 3. Still could happen, of course. Any result possible.
And what a lot of people don't know, probably for San Antonio, getting to Tulsa wasn't easy today.
They did have, we understand, some travel issues. Arrived late afternoon. Here's Cardoni. Belting the ball forward. Gordon's there. Muniz, though, who's hardly put a foot wrong here, comes out with the ball. DJ Dean will have to come back and retrieve this one. Does. Was he tripped? Yes, he was. Seth on Dean. 5 minutes left in this one. We're playing 8 minutes added on. Here's DJ Dean just getting clipped there on the replay from Harsco and Tankersley Food Service. There is DJ Dean, the local lad. And here's Charlie Ward, the Englishman. Finding Lang, the Jamaican here. Clip ball into the box. And then it comes off Seth, and DJ Dean can take up some very valuable time here. He's got no one else with him. Here's Isaac Diaz. Isaac Diaz now will try one from a very long way out. This could be an incredible goal. Cardoni goes back and tips it over the bar. Incredible stuff from Diaz. He was a yard inside the San Antonio half. Brady Ballou, incredible stuff, and in the end, a great save. Look at this.
We had alluded to Isaac Diaz not being afraid to breathe life into this game and ultimately taking this insane opportunity to chip Cardoni. And Cardoni does extremely well as he's backpedaling, trying to, kind of locate where that goal is. And Isaac will be smiling. I'm sure they'll get a little handshake after the game.
Well, you'll probably remember Isaac Diaz scored one of the 3 goals from the Roughnecks against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. We'll come to that in a minute because here's Rivas. And he's been dispossessed, and he scored. He ran up to meet his family in about row C. Got a yellow card for his troubles, but it was some celebration. Well, I don't know what the celebration would have been like if that had gone in, but credit the goalkeeper. That was a fine, fine save from Cardoni, backpedaling. Here's G. Picked up here by Charlie Ward. 3 minutes to go in this pulsating game. Here's Lang. Feeding in Cochrane. Cochrane clips the ball, left-footed, beautiful ball in. Vukovic is there to head it away. Diaz heads it away, and Rivas can go to the right-hand side. He's overhit it, maybe. Can Ferreira keep it in? No, he can't. Right idea from Rivas. Just too hard, Brady Ballou.
Definitely upsetting for Rivas. So looking up, doing the right thing. And here we'll see Isaac Diaz looking for the big one. Don't mind that from a guy this stage in the game. You have nothing going forward. You see Cardoni off his line.
Well, Manchester United fans will remember a certain young man called David Beckham who tried that and scored against Wimbledon, if my memory serves. A fantastic goal, and he was a very young man. Now, there's a bit of pushing and shoving between one of the Tulsa Roughnecks subs and Gordon. Fourth official, Curtis Mayo, getting involved there. Roughnecks need to just keep calm. Charlie Ward in there acting as peacemaker. Gordon will be brought to the referee, Mr. Eric Tedeshaw.
Not the time for the Roughnecks bench to be intervening. You never want to have a silly red card at this stage of the game. Give any reason for San Antonio to start a comeback.
I think Charlie Ward's saying to the referee, let's just get on with this. A yellow card has been shown to one of the Roughneck subs. It could well be Adrian Jacinho there, the number 5. We'll try and get that confirmed if we can. Referee is just taking a little bit of advice from the 4th official there.
Yeah, hate to see that.
Charlie Ward's saying, come on, can we please get on with it? We've all got to get home at some time tonight. 97 minutes played, 2-1 to the Roughnecks. Jacinho's let that one go through. Here's Lopez. Lopez clips the ball across that, hits the face of Paris G. Well, there are some of the San Antonio players are saying, referee, did that hit his arm? Paris G's saying it hit him in the face. You can see there. And we'll see the replay here to see Brady Ballou. You were looking at me as though you might have said there might be a shout for a penalty here.
I mean, that happened so quickly, but I think it catches his face. You see his head get knocked back. And, yeah, Kobe Smith, once again, probably going to have to go through some concussion protocol. But Chase Gentry and the Roughnecks will be extremely happy with the last-ditch defending from Paris G. And I think, ultimately, if he's okay from this, he'll be pretty pleased with that performance as well.
Just gone 9 o'clock on a Saturday night in downtown Tulsa. Thank you for your company here. We are playing 8 minutes of time added on, but you can see that's already up now on the clock there. We are hearing that one of the substitutes for the Roughnecks was carded, along with Omar Gordon, who got a card. Paris G is okay, and probably, Brady, it's unfortunate, but he probably doesn't want to leave the pitch at this stage.
No, not at this stage. You'll take everybody you have on the field to defend.
Coach Ensign there clapping his hands. He's desperate for his 3rd win and the Roughnecks' 3rd win of the season. Now there's pushing and shoving inside the box between Hernandez and Tavares, which the referee now intervenes.
Cardoni also making a cameo here in the 18, being marked by Captain Claudio Munoz. So often we see the goalkeeper actually being the one to get his head onto the ball. So don't rule Cardoni out in this situation.
Yep, Cardoni in all illuminous green here. Here's Lang's corner into the box. Whole host of players going for it. The Roughnecks have got the ball here. No goalkeeper. Cardoni sprinting back. Gamble now. Diaz could try it again, but he gives it back to Gamble. Gamble here. Cardoni's got back. Here's Diaz again. Now Diaz might go on a little run himself. He feeds the ball in here to Dean. Everybody onside. Here's Gamble. Gamble inside the box. Curls it. Saved by Cardoni. And it remains 2-1. And now Gordon. Here now. San Antonio right at the death here. Hardly any time to be added on. We've played nearly 10 minutes. We're hearing that the yellow card went to Uziteo, and the referee brings proceedings to an end. The Roughnecks have won their 3rd game of the season. They've beaten high-flying San Antonio here by 2-1. San Antonio will need to pick themselves up quickly for their quest for the playoff places. Elation here in downtown Tulsa, because the Roughnecks have won a game of soccer, and Brady Ballou, I think, on tonight's performance, fully deserved it.
Quite the result for the Roughnecks, and yes, fully deserved, Dave. This is great for the city of Tulsa. This is great for the club. This is great for the organization. This is great for the players, and this is great for Coach Ensign to have his players stick to a plan and to see out a result under tough circumstances, especially this last 10 minutes.
Fair play to Darren Powell there. He shook a lot of Roughnecks' hands, no doubt very disappointed. There's Paris G, got a ball in the face, shaking hands with Cochran, the captain for San Antonio. Muniz, the captain for the Roughnecks, shaking hands with the referee. It's been a very, very sporting contest, and you said, I mean, the USL at its best. It was a fine game to watch, Brady.
Two teams totally duking it out, relentless pursuit of goals. San Antonio, it doesn't get any easier for them. They continue to head north towards Kansas City and St. Louis. Two teams not easy to go there and get a result. And so they'll be discouraged not getting at least a point here in Tulsa. And Tulsa, kind of being devilish here, ruining what San Antonio probably thought was a sure 3 points.
LA Galaxy 2-0. Colorado Springs Switchbacks 2-1. Add to that for the Roughnecks a 2-1 win against San Antonio. And they had to come from behind. Let's remember that it was San Antonio that took the lead way back on. It seems forever ago now, Brady. 18 minutes ago with a fine goal from Alessandro.
I think that's the most encouraging part, is the only goal that San Antonio was able to get in this game was from a Roughnecks mistake. It wasn't something that San Antonio was able to pick apart that Roughnecks back line. It was simply the Roughnecks self-imposing on themselves to almost self-destruct. So kudos to the Roughnecks and their back line, the organization, from the coaching staff all the way down to the players. A great team performance tonight.
Do you know, we had, 9 or 10 minutes added on at the end. We nearly had, there's Coach Ensian. We've had pretty much everything. And Brady, I'll tell you what, let's just go to the highlights and have a look at what happened tonight. There's Fabian Serd, who had to come off with a concussion injury. So let's have a look now at the story of the game in the first half, my friend.
Yeah, well, we see it here. Roughnecks combining Michael Gamble, cutting his way through the box, ultimately toe poking into Cardoni's midriff. San Antonio seeing it out.
Then Tulsa almost getting to goal here. Tricky run for, it ends up with Ferreira. There's Vukovic's ball into the box, and it just came too quickly for Jesus Ferreira there.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too quick on that half bounce for Ferreira.
Here's the opening goal of the game, went to the away side, and a fine finish.
Yeah, you almost can't even call it a mistake. It was just this blurb in the run of play that happened to the Roughnecks. There's no one to put blame onto at this point, but only a few minutes later, Paris G getting taken down, earning Nemanja Vukovic a penalty.
Correct decision, and anybody that, as you said, hits the side netting first for the penalty right on the back of the net deserves to put it away. And that was Vukovic's first goal. The Serbians celebrating there. And we went into the second half tied at 1, Brady.
Yeah, well taken by Vukovic, and that kind of enthusiasm only continued for the Roughnecks. Here we see Jesus Ferreira. He'll cut up Hernandez, chop it back to Eti Tavares, then a calm, cool, collected finish into the side net. Celebrations with Joaquin Rivas, but all credit to this one, to Jesus Ferreira, the 17-year-old from FC Dallas.
Yeah, here's another replay. He did well. He kept his powder dry. So did Tavares. His second goal of the season for the Roughnecks. Here's another look at the goal.
Cardoni does well, actually, to get a hand to this, but Tavares' finish just good enough to get past.
Now, with the Roughnecks leading 2-1, what about this?
Yeah.
From keeping the back door shut.
Cochran once again putting balls into dangerous situations, and Gordon getting on the end of it, coming up with a huge save as Serta, and then ultimately Munoz.
Yeah, ball in here from Gordon, and look at that for bravery. Lang must have thought he'd scored.
There were a few saves of the match, weren't there, tonight, and I think this one might take the cake, and ultimately it's taken Serta out of the game with concussion protocol. Now we
had pretty much everything. There's Isaac Diaz, look, from an absolute mile out. Great save from Cardoni. We had everything. Quickly, Brady Ballou. I mean, that was just an amazing effort.
I think with those, it's like you're thinking, maybe he could do it in this lifetime, maybe not, but maybe in the next lifetime you might chip him. But sure enough, Isaac Diaz not being afraid to pull the trigger.
Eti Tavares gets the home supporters player of the match. It was his goal that was the difference in the end. The Roughnecks have won their third game of the season by 2-1. They go to 3-14-11. San Antonio, still a lot of hope for them, Brady Ballou, as their record now is 12-10. And 7. There is Diaz, who had that audacious effort. He was only 2 yards inside the San Antonio half and produced a brilliant save from Cardoni. There are the players signing autographs, as they always do. Brady Ballou, a last comment from you. Just fantastic for the Roughnecks, I guess.
Fantastic for the Roughnecks, disappointing for San Antonio. For San Antonio, they have 6 games left to kind of steady the ship. They're on the road for the next 2, and ultimately have some at home, which they're extremely powerful at home. So I'd anticipate seeing San Antonio, slide into that 7th or 8th spot. And then for Tulsa, keep building on this performance, right? You can't let this one get away from you. This one has to mean a lot. This is one you have to talk about. Remember when we played San Antonio at home, we held on for 10 minutes. You have to relish those memories, those opportunities, and use them as fuel for later on in the season, even when times get difficult.
Brady Blue, thank you so much for your company tonight. Brady and I will be back in the chair on Wednesday when the Roughnecks will be here again, looking to follow up this win with a game against Sacramento. Thank you so much to our wonderful team, production team, cameramen, everybody who works everything technical that I would have no idea how to work. Thank you so much. You make our job so easy. Thank you so much again for your company. Join us again on our next broadcast, which will be on Wednesdays. Final score for the final time from downtown Tulsa. The Tulsa Roughnecks 2, San Antonio FC 1.
Family pass downs are pretty dang good. It's a good feeling when they start getting responsible for things, and the vehicle's a big part of that.
I want to keep, stacking up the memories and the miles and the years and all the stories you can tell with Athena.
When it's time for your old Chevy truck to become their new Chevy truck, there's Truck Month. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado. Plus, during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
What defines you? Your pain? Your illness, your injury. At Hillcrest, we see it a little differently. Your hope defines you. Your strength, your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. Because we believe every life is worth fighting for.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice and cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/power hours.
When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.